All right, let's crack into it, team. One-page business plan. I've been pumped to do this for ages. It makes sense right now while you've got some downtime to think strategically about your business. All right, so why would you do a business plan? Well, the first thing is to get some cohesive thought into where do you want to go. Organize all your thoughts onto one page. And it doesn't need to be ultra in-depth. You just need to figure out your North Star. Where do you want to go? What kind of business do you want to build? What do you want it to look like in 3 to 5 years' time? And because we're aiming to build a business, not a job, we want one that gives you more money and creates more time. So by having it organized into one page, you've got some visibility that you can literally get this done in 45 minutes, and then you can get the specificity out of the supporting documents. Your one-page plans, your 90-day plans, your cash flow forecast, your values, your business maturity date. This is the 30,000-foot view that it's going to give you some fuel in your engine and some motivation on how to get there. It's also going to hold you accountable as you build your team, implement these systems, share them with us, and every 90 days, we're going to go back through your 90-day plan and see, are we on track to hit our goals? All right, so when do you do this? Well, you can do this at 2 stages during the year. You can either do this in the end of the financial year, and people have different, like the financial year in Australia is June onwards, financial year in New Zealand's April onwards, not sure about the States, or you can do it in the calendar year. So we do ours in the calendar year. We do December, we have a planning day at the end of the year to see how the quarter was. We line up what we want to achieve in 2020 or 2021. These clearly were taken pre-COVID-19 days because we wouldn't do anything to flout the law. So you're going to review this annually, and even if you get off track, you don't change the destination on where you want to head. You might change how you're going to get there, and if you think about a ship or a plane that takes off and heading from London to New York, it doesn't change its destination, but it might change its route hundreds or thousands of times in terms of course correction. All right, and how do you do this? Easiest way I've found is to think blue skies, nothing attached to the past. What do we want to create? The worst thing you can do is create a business that sucks, that has you involved in the day-to-day stuff that you don't enjoy. So one of the key things is to do your stop doing list. What do you not enjoy doing? And if we're building a business, then we want to be working towards your business maturity date. So me, I've helped build out the first thing that I didn't want to do anymore was one-to-one coaching, because it's not scalable. I've done it for 15 years. It's not leverageable. So we had to build a team of coaches. And for you, that'll be a team of builders. So we now have 5 coaches in different areas of specifics. Next is marketing. So now we have Cam and Matt in marketing, and we have a team of VAs. Next is sales. So we have Owen, we have a sales agency, and we have Matthew, who's now heading up our sales. So you want to build out those operational areas based on the area that is first the lowest skill. So you work up from your PBR. So everything that is below your PBR, so if your professional builder's rate is $80 an hour, anything that's below $80 an hour that you're doing, we want to hire someone to do. And every 90 days, we look back and we go, what tasks am I doing that are below my PBR? And then we make a plan to get rid of those. All right, so what do you need when you go to do this? You need a clear and empty head. So I would look to do this on a Saturday morning, or I will typically do these when I'm on holiday, to be fair. And I find you'll never have a great idea, a game-changing idea when you're sitting in front of your computer. But if you think when you're on holiday and you've had 3 to 4 to 5 days of downtime, your head will be massively clearer on what do you want out of life, how's your business going to help you get there, and what really sucks. Because now's the time to break your business and go, what do I not want to bring into next year? What is not working for me or the business? And if you just made a list of your top 5 things, like not dealing with people that are hard work, because they'll suck up 80 to 90% of your headspace, but they only might be 1 team member and 1 client. So if you can then identify this is the type of client and this is the type of team member that's hard work, get rid of those, you're going to free up all of that headspace And when you've got free mental headspace, you can go forward 1,000 times clearer because you've got clarity of vision, clarity of purpose, and you're very specific in terms of purpose and intent on what you need to do to get there. So I go somewhere quiet. The first thing I do before I do my business plan is I do my vision book. What do I want my life to look like? And so I've mapped that out. It's three-week holidays overseas. Not at the moment though. It's working 3 days a week in my Genius, 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursdays in the office, and elevating team members to have a head of sales, a head of marketing, and a head of operations / coaching. So now over the next 90 days that I have those people, it's about building, elevate, delegate to elevate. So I'm building systems for them to work through so that I've solved those problems or solved those processes that allow us to grow. And I was having a session this morning with one of our fantastic muscular athletic members from Sydney about the difference between delegating and abdicating. So abdicating is where you say to you, I've hired a great foreman, here, have at it. Delegating is where you work with them over the next 90 days to work on the forecast versus actual, to brief them on how to read plans for a week, to brief them on what variations processing are, to brief them on how to attend a site meeting and how to run it with a client, to brief them on how to do the toolbox meeting, what forms he needs to fill in, to brief them on how to fill in builder trend. If you do that over 90 days, you record that, you document it into your business, you will then have a well-systemized machine working well on site that he can train the other foreman. If you do not do that, what will happen? You'll be reliant upon him, whether he's having a good day or a bad day, right? Because he's not following your site setup checklist. He's not following your how do we capture and process variations. He's not following your systems. So you build the systems together. You train him, you record that, and then you make him responsible for training the other foreman. And then you probably only need an hour a week with the foreman and probably half an hour to check on the jobs. And that's your site management. You're not having to rely on the genius of finding great guys because you've built a great systems. Systems run the business. We hire and train the right people to follow those systems. And we as the leader establish the rules of the game, and we put in place the feedback and the measurement system. So what that is weekly meetings, construction meeting, performance meeting, toolbox meeting, marketing meeting, management meeting. Measure our KPIs. Great, we're within 5% of labour hours. Then we go, hey, great, our framing is out by 30 hours. What do we need to do to correct it? That's all it is to run your business successfully. Establish a system, have measurement that's visible, KPIs, shorten the feedback loop to a weekly meeting, and then put in place the strategies that you're going to do to improve that aspect. So if it's labour hours, might be recording forecast versus actual, might be getting the guys tablets, might be getting builder trends so they fill in their hours on site, might be, if it's out, looking at who you've scheduled to run each of the jobs, might be looking at maybe some foremen are great at finishing off a job, some guys are great at getting it out of the ground. So there's all those different aspects, but you just work through each one until you're hitting your KPI. And then you have confidence that the system is running the business. So what do you need to bring to this? Well, the first thing I do is I do my vision book first, and I look at what do I want my life to be like, because all business is a vehicle to enhance your life. It's a big part of your life, but it's primarily there to help you build your ideal lifestyle. And you can do a lot of other good things. Community work, making profit, employing people. Like we're responsible, we've got 14 people in our business, so we're responsible for 14 families. We've got 333 members, which is an easy number to remember. So we're responsible for putting out great content, great community, and great coaching to help you guys accelerate your results. So there's lots of other things that you can do with your business. It's primarily a vehicle to help you become all that you can be and all that you want to be. So I do vision book first, and I get clear on what do I want my business, my life to look like. So we want to go overseas for 3 months in January, February, March next year to Thailand or Philippines and live overseas for 3 months. and that's to a view with living overseas for a year in Italy and racing Porsches and whatnot. So this is a test. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to elevate Owen as general manager and head of coaching, Peter Kim as head of coaching and client success, Cam as head of marketing, and Matthew as head of sales. So I've got 90 days to build, implement, and let them follow the systems and the processes, make sure we have a good feedback loop, make sure we're running on the businesses, on the numbers, and then it gives me confidence to go away, know that we're following our systems, and it's not reliant upon anyone's genius. So if you have your P&L, the only bad thing with looking at a P&L is that you should never really look backwards other than to learn lessons of what didn't work well for you. You're not tied to your past. You're not a tree, you're not a rock, you're not stuck in place. Like for us, one of our goals is to get on the Deloitte Fast 50 of the 50 fastest growing companies in New Zealand. Now to do that, we have to look at blue skies thinking what's possible. And if someone else has done it, then I can do it. So a big thing I would encourage you to seek out who are the people who've got to where you want within the community, seek them out and go and have a chat with them. And there's some people that have, gone from 1 mil to 5 mil, 5 mil to 20 mil, people that are doing developments, people that have gone away for 3 months, etc. So seek out what do you need to do. Next, process. So first we want to have a vision of what does success look like. That's one of the clearest things. That's why I say do a vision book first. Next, your one-page plan. So what do you want to achieve? Do you want to get to 10 mil? Do you want to work 3 days a week? And maybe you only want to be doing sales. So we need to do your business maturity date. Next, we're then going to work backwards. So we've got our stats, our numbers. How do we know if we're on track? So if you want to get to 10 million sales, that's either $10 million houses or 2,500K jobs. So let's say it was 10 times a mil. And let's say you convert 1 out of 4 quotes. So now we know that we only need 40 leads during the year, or roughly 3.5 leads a month that are over that $1 million. So now we have some very good KPIs or indicators that if we do the KPIs, the activities like our marketing to generate those leads, then we're going to hit that. So it's critical that we watch our numbers. And I'm going to drop Owen in it right now. And I'm going to say that we're going to do the KPI webinar next week. So next week, we're going to do the KPI webinar. We're going to take you guys through what the numbers mean, how you're going to get them, and then the following week, you'll be able to submit those. Cool. And then once you've got clarity on your plan, your personal plan, your business plan, the next key thing, and you've got your numbers, what you need to do to get there, is to have meetings with your team to bring everyone together, bring them on board, let them know the ship's going in this direction. Here's where we're aiming to get to. Here's how we're going to get there, and here's what's required from each of you. So you're going to fill in your dashboard. So it's going to look something very similar to this from next week onwards. We're going to have a KPI webinar every month. We're creating a dashboard and we're building out a SaaS software and an app at the moment. It's going to allow you to go, am I within KPI, within ratio or not? And it will then go red, yellow or green. Holy shit, my margin is in the danger zone. It's 10 to 15%. Okay, great. Here's 3 strategies that you can work on. So it's going to help you pinpoint exactly what you should work on now and what's going to make the biggest difference for you in 90 days time. This is going to help you get to your goals quicker, because when you can make objective decisions that are data driven, you can do so with more confidence, more purpose, because you make the changes, you look in your bank account and you see, great, there's more money in there. So it's going to remove a lot of the haze or uncertainty or overwhelm. Hey, just do these 3 things. Great. And then when we've done these and we've seen that improvement, here's what we should work on next. So business is a numbers game, and we need to understand the language of business. Right. So then we've got your other supporting documents, your values. It's a critical part of the one-page plan. So that's basically what's important to us. How do we do business around here? Your business maturity date. And we're going to have links to these in the one-page plan that I'm going to take you through in a second. Cash flow forecast. The cash flow forecast basically shows how are we cash flowing and how are we funding this? What's our goal? What's our budget? And do we need to add any CapEx in? So do we need to hire an office manager? Do we need to buy a digger? Do we need to invest money into online marketing and to getting a new website? What do we need to do that is going to support us hitting our goals? All right. And then once you've built your plan, and we're then going, how do I need to change? So there's a saying, people don't have business problems. They just have personal problems that transition over into their business life. So for me, business has never gone greater than the last 18 months than when I stopped drinking booze, got into my daily program, focused on the 80-20, ate clean, and in the last 7 days, we've been absolutely crushing it because I've been on my daily program to a T. So what do you need to stop doing? Maybe it's reading the paper every morning because it fills up your head with negativity. Maybe it's scrolling Facebook. Maybe it's having drinks 2 or 3 nights with a mate on the way home from work like I used to and have dinner. If you can see, the next step is, what do I need to stop doing? How do I stop doing? But what do I need to stop doing? Okay, so think about that personal-wise, business-wise as well. So what do you need to stop doing? So you should stop doing anything that's below your PBR. So for me, that's everything at home, cooking, cleaning, etc. Except I love mowing the lawn, so I do that. Clearly, you'll need to have a management contract in place with your wife or significant other. Otherwise, a divorce may be imminent. And then have a look at what are you doing each day? Is it helping contribute to where you want to go, yes or no? And lastly, whom do I need on my team? So you've got your immediate team, you've got your management team, and then you've got your team of advisors. So do you need a one-to-one sales coach? Do you need a CFO? Do you need a better accountant? Who do you need on your team to help make this a reality? So I've got 3 mentors. Wes for my mindset, physical. We've got Kevin Hutto in the US, one of the best Facebook and online marketing experts in the world. And then we've got a guy, Cole Gordon, for our sales team, helping us master that. So who else do you need on your team to make this a reality? All right, let's do it. Now this should literally take you about 45 minutes to an hour. And it's really a top of mind that you have 2 goes at. One, just what's all the stuff that's in the back of your mind that you know you should be doing. So if we have a look here, core values are those core elements that are, let me show you an example. So here we'll give you guys a, you can put your logo up the top. We'll put that there. Start date, and it's up to you whether you want to go with a calendar year. You could start it this week, it doesn't matter, but run it for 12 months. So what are your core values that are critical to your business? Now we've got 12, which is too many. We're going to amalgamate that down to probably 6. And the main reason is because you want people to be able to recite them, understand them, live them, eat them, sleep them, breathe them. So we've got 3 examples there. PSR, problem, solution, recommendation. So if you can instill that into your team, it's going to be a game changer. Don't come to me with, we can't do this. Come to me with, we've got this problem, the concrete's not arriving till Tuesday. Possible solutions are, we could do A, B, or C. We could add some accelerant. We could call up and bribe the guy, or we could delay it till then and restructure the whole build around that. Or maybe, but my recommendation is, C, I jump on the phone, remind the concrete guy that we've given him 350K worth of work in the last 2 years, and ask him to make an exception and get here when he said he would. Speed of execution, it's a big one. And then lastly, world-class purpose. Why are we doing this? So to be the best and build a world-class business that changes lives. So why are you doing this? And again, this is just for you and your business. It's better that you're true to yourself than try and do some half-assed mission or something that you don't really believe in. Area that you work in. So that's the geographic area. How wide are you willing to go for your ideal type of jobs? Next, what are the type of jobs that you specialize in? So it's architectural new builds and renovations, 200K plus. So we're only doing bigger jobs. Next is your business maturity date. So there's going to be a link attached to this so you can go into these trainings. So your salary you pay yourself currently 96K, net profit that your business makes annually 150, days you take off a month. So you just work down through this and then you go 90 days, where do we want to be from now? Okay, and then 12 months time, what am I going to pay myself? How much profit do I want to be making? So you can see here some of the big movers to go from 2 weeks holiday to 6 weeks holidays. And to hire a new sales and marketing coordinator instead of me doing it. And you can also see there, who are we going to hire next? An admin person, and then you'd put there, when will we hire them? And it might be in the next 90 days. Does anyone have any questions so far? It's pretty self-explanatory. Next, a big one is, how are you rewarding yourself? Quite often as entrepreneurs, we're always on the go, we're always going flat out, always looking at the horizon, never satisfied. But if you stopped and you looked back and you smelled the roses and you thought, shit, we've actually come miles in the last 12 months, I know we have, and even in the last 90 days. So how am I going to reward myself? Next, what are the big things that we need to do over the next 3 to 5 years? So maybe you want to do a couple of developments. Maybe it's achieve your business maturity date in 18 months time and set up a second location. And to do that, you're going to go through the how to structure a buy-in training, get your project manager up to speed, and then have him off doing the second location. Next, we've got your KPIs, targets and milestones. So this is just like the TPV dashboard that we're going to be going through next week. Number of leads generated that meet your criteria. So 8 during the month. So these are monthly metrics. What's your conversion rate? So we sign 1 out of 4. Average project value is 150K. We want to lift that to 200K in 90 days time. GP is sitting at 15%. That's going to be a game changer if we get that up to 17%. I'm going to stick with paying myself a salary of 8 grand. Fixed costs per month. Now the fixed costs includes your operator's salary. So the fixed cost would be 12 grand plus the 8K gives you a total of 20. So that's a bit probably the little nuance to note in there. And the net profit out of that, we make 12.5K per month. And then you've got how many days off in the last month. So that's this person must have had I think Anzac Day, or they had Easter. So there were 2 extra days, Friday and a Monday. And then the hours per week. So we can see there 55 at the moment. In 90 days time, it's very realistic to be able to save 5 hours. How are we going to do that? Well, it's by getting some admin help. So you see how that ties down to your business maturity date there, links up to the hours per week. Okay, and then one of your other documents that's going to tie into this is your stop doing list. So we would list all the stop doing list that related to the admin tasks. That's going to create the job description for the admin office person. That's going to help get you down to the 50 hours. Next, primary metric that's going to move the needle the most. Now, when we're doing the KPI webinar each month, we're going to have ratios and ranges for you. What's red, attention, danger, do not proceed past go. What's orange, needs attention the next 90 days. And then what's green, it's fine for now. So here, the number one thing that's going to make the biggest difference is the margin from 17 to 22%, which is quite a big shift. But if we can do that during the year, it's going to be an absolute game changer. And then the next part is SWOT analysis. Technically, it should be called OTSWA analysis, because you should start with blue skies, green fields, not being constrained by your current thinking and situation. What are all our opportunities out there? So opportunities and threats are external to the business and yourself. Strengths and like what's happening in the market. Strengths and weaknesses are internal to the business and to yourself and your team. So current opportunities, get soft pricing software on board. We don't have that. Current threats might be a price-driven market that you're operating in. That's in your head. You're believing it, and you're not doing the marketing and the sales to be able to establish a steady flow of leads so that you can pick and choose the right kind of leads and don't have to compete on price. So that's a threat. Current weaknesses, lack of marketing, that's leading to competing on price to win jobs. So we're going to improve our website, big opportunity there. And then lastly, our strengths, we have a great team and we do great projects. Next, we're going to break down what do we need to do strategically by quarter. And this is just really looking back at your numbers and seeing that the conversion rate is 25%. And you can see there that we're going to nail that first. That's going to give us confidence that whatever projects we do have coming through, we're going to convert. Then we're going to get a bigger flow of leads in quarter two by more marketing, direct response website, etc. Then that's going to allow us to refine our systems and processes to lift our margin on site going through the job. And lastly, pricing, because now we've got a good flow of leads, got a good 7-step sales process to convert them. Our guys are productive and well streamlined on site, and I'm comfortable in lifting my price, charging for quotes, got a good overhead recovery margin in there, increasing our project management fees, etc. All right, then 90-day strategic priorities, back-end margin on current jobs is one of the first things we're going to do. Attract larger size leads and projects and refine the sales process. Now you'll see that the sales is the overall theme for quarter one, but there's still some operational stuff that we need to do that doesn't fit in there. And that is improve the back-end margin on our current jobs. So we might do that by back costing, negotiating with our sub-trades, going to our merchants, looking at our pricing, striking better deals, and then attracting larger size leads and projects as we go forward. And lastly, project plans is the specific one-page plan. So we'll put a link to that there of how we're going to achieve those priorities. So compare our 27 tips to make more profit checklist. Complete video testimonials of our big projects. That's going to allow us to raise our margin, win more jobs. Connect with our Dream 10 architects and partners, put our 1% referral system in place, and set sales script to qualify our tire kickers. It's going to be a game changer because we've got more leads and positioning ourselves as the go-to. Anyone got any questions whatsoever? Pretty simple, right? If you could just type in, because I'm feeling very low in confidence today, what do you get the most value from today? So what do you get the most value from? Scott, clear as mud. I think that's you need to lay off the 4X, mate. Put down those VBs. And Scott, just for you and for anyone else that's on this call, if you want to do this, submit it through to us. We will pressure test it with you. Mickey, all okay, good job. KPI and pressure test, awesome. Need to finalize vision. Yeah, Peter, that's a game changer. Do your vision book first. What do you want your life? What do you want your business to be like? Business is just a vehicle to help get you there. Brent, overall structure and direction moving forwards. Awesome. Mark, pressure test. Natalie, type some stuff in. Jesse, quiet time. Awesome. Looking forward to improving PBR. Yeah, that stop doing list will help massively accelerate that. The idea of having a 90-day system to train the foreman and document so it's clear. Awesome. Scott Davies, we'll have it tomorrow. Awesome. All right, team. I appreciate you guys. This is going to help give you clarity to move the business forward in a strategic manner. The KPI webinar that we're going to do next week is going to center around what are the numbers, how do you get them, what do they mean, and what are the ratios that you should be within. That will then allow you to go and get them, submit them to us. We're then going to rank everyone. You'll be able to see how you compare with yourself each month. So each month you'll put them in and we can see your progress. You can see your progress. The tools that we're developing with our software, our SaaS program and our app are going to give you the trainings that you should be working on based on the numbers that you put in so that we can see the changes in your bank account and also your time and your PBR. So next week, KPI webinar, we're going to take you through what it all means, how it works, and how to submit your numbers. It's not that complex. You don't have to make this hard. Just sit somewhere quiet, print out the stuff, and it's going to allow you to get a lot of clarity. All right, team. I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week for the KPI webinar.